From the socially awkward, curly-haired teen who with his friend Pedro launched a campaign to run for class president, to the military genius who conquered most of Europe in the 19th century and later named himself the Emperor of France, Napoleon Bonaparte is recognized today as one of the greatest military leaders the world has ever seen. But before we continue, let's take it back to where it all began.
Napoleon Bonaparte was born on August 15, 1769, on a small island named Corsica, just off the coast of France, to Carlo Maria de Bonaparte, an Italian lawyer, and Maria Letizia Remolino, and was the oldest of 8 children.
Being born to a family of minor Italian nobility, Napoleon's father, Carlo, enrolled little Napoleon into an exclusive Catholic school in Autun, France, and later attended military school where he trained to become an artillery officer and graduated in 1785.
Following his graduation, Napoleon became second lieutenant in an artillery regiment of the French army until the outbreak of the French Revolution in 1789.
He took a 3-year leave back to his homeland, Corsica, where he became affiliated with a radical pro-democracy group, the Jacobins.
While back at home, Napoleon became a passionate Corsican nationalist and wrote to Corsican leader Pascal Paoli in 1789 saying,
Je m'appelle Napoleon. As the nation was perishing, I was born. 30,000 Frenchmen were vomited onto our shores, drowning the throne of liberty in waves of blood. Such was the odious sight, which was the first to strike me.
Which was totally ironic considering he later fought for and led the French army. After a dispute with Corsican leader Paoli, who split ties with France, Napoleon and his family fled from their homeland back to France, where he returned to military duty.
Due to his affiliation with Jacobin leader Maximilien Robespierre, who led the force behind the Reign of Terror, a period of violence against the enemies of the revolution, Napoleon was briefly put on house arrest. In 1795, he helped suppress the revolution in Paris and was promoted to Major General. In 1798, Napoleon led an invasion in Egypt called the Battle of the Pyramids to wipe out all existing British trade routes with India, which was successful. However, his army became stranded in the vast Egyptian deserts.
Those couple of years were definitely not exactly Napoleon's prime. But sure enough, Napoleon took that L and bounced back. As in November 1799, in the coup of 18 Brumaire, Napoleon successfully overthrew the French Directory and replaced the government with a 3-person consulate, with him, obviously, at the first consul.
Napoleon shaped the restoration of France's stability by forming a centralized government, instituting reforms, supporting science and the arts so as to help cohere relations with the regime and the church, and creating the Napoleonic Code, which built the foundation for the French legal system and has influenced the French government today.
In 1802, Napoleon was named first consul for life, and in 1804, he crowned himself Emperor of France. Talk about modest.
Back in 1792, Napoleon made Josephine de Beauharnais. However, due to troubles with fertility over a decade, Napoleon annulled the marriage and wedded Marie-Louise, an Austrian princess who gave birth to their son Napoleon Francois Joseph Charles Bonaparte. Little Napoleon II was later given the title King of Rome.
From 1803 to 1815, France fought in the Napoleonic Wars, a series of major conflicts with many European coalitions. In 1803, Napoleon sold France's southeast holdings in North America to the newly independent United States as a means of funds for the great number of wars. This event became known as the Louisiana Purchase. During his reign, Napoleon restored French aristocracy and balanced the distribution of power among close friends and family as his empire continued to grow exponentially across Europe.
Following the victory in Austria, Napoleon led catastrophic invasions in Russia and was defeated in the Battle of Nations by a coalition consisting of Austria, Russia, Prussia, and Sweden.
On April 6, 1814, Napoleon was forced to renounce his throne. The Treaty of Fontainebleau exiled him to Elba, a small island in the Mediterranean off the coast of Italy. However, less than a year of exile, Napoleon escaped the island and sailed to mainland France. Upon arrival, King Louis XVIII renounced his power and fled, leaving France with open arms for their beloved ruler to return to power, for what was dubbed his 100 Days Campaign.
Once again, Napoleon returned to his old self and defeated the same coalition which defeated him to remove him from power. However, at the Battle of Waterloo, his forces were defeated by the British with help from Prussia. Once again, on June 22, 1815, Napoleon was forced to renounce the throne and was exiled to British-held island called St. Helena in the remote South Atlantic Ocean, where he died most likely of stomach cancer 6 years later on May 5, 1821.
Napoleon Bonaparte, son, military general, emperor of France, and father, was and will be remembered for centuries to come as a historical hero. His love and ambition for strength and power followed him even to the last of his days and has left a significant influence on great leaders to come.